And we are on the air. This is Drake Nelson broadcasting from beautiful Reno, Nevada. This is my custom-built, shitty-ass, cheap-ass home studio. And I'm gonna show you guys who else we got on the couch. We've got Mr. Wayne Walsh there.
Hey there.
And to the left of Mr. Walsh is Miss Kristen Wood.
What up?
So we all kind of know each other from the comedy scene, and Kristen and I actually work together at our day jobs.
The job that pays.
The job that actually pays the bills.
Kinda. Hey, what's your real quick? What is the name of your Wi-Fi?
I don't know. The
is
closest
it Fernandez?
one. What?
Motorola.
Yeah, that's it.
They have like CIA password.
For the one person that's going to be watching this.
Yeah.
My mother.
Yeah.
Actually not, because too many cuss words.
We are actually in Drake's bedroom right now.
Yeah.
This is where the magic happened. This is where he had
this is
sex
the only
that
type
one
of magic
time.
that happens in this room.
This is where he had sex once.
Multiple times. You're right in the wet spot, by the way, Wayne, just to
Oh, good.
let you know.
Thanks. Well, luckily we live in a really dry climate, so it was dry before I sat down.
If you counted all the stains on that couch, the FBI would probably have to be notified. It's quite disgusting.
Let's hit it with a black light. That'd be a good episode.
Oh, yeah. Let's see what's on Drake's couch. So I figured for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, we would kind of give you a profile of each of us. Would anybody like to start, or should I just go? You want me to start, Kristen? Yeah. Okay. First off, I don't have like a cool name for the show. Pussy Talk
Let's
was...
Let's call it the show.
The show?
Yes.
Because I'm sure that's not taken.
Yeah. There's never been a podcast with the name The Show on it at all. Pussy Talk was already taken. That, of course, is Kyle George's
and I
podcast.
don't talk about pussy a lot.
Yeah, it's either Pussy Talk, The Drake Nelson Show, or Kristen's Vagina. So
I don't think about that a lot either. It's not much to say.
I heard that already came into copyright issues because that Kristen's Vagina indeed has its own show
I'm just saying.
already that has high ratings.
So many people have visited Kristen's Vagina.
It's a place on Facebook. You can check in. That's all I'm saying.
So, my name is Drake
Geocaching.
Nelson.
This isn't working.
You haven't figured it out yet?
So we'll try next time.
I found a pencil eraser and signed my name there once.
I thought I recognized your autograph on the side of Kristen's Vagina.
In a picture. That's the only way Drake's ever seen it.
Yeah, sure. I'm just kidding. So yeah, my name is Drake Nelson. I'm originally from Sparks, Nevada. I bounced around California for like the last 10 years. I have a degree in video production.
From
I used to
school.
Yeah, sure.
You think he'd be good at it, though.
I know, huh? I'm terrible at it. Like I can never stick to
I know. I've
to
done
like
his
one
job.
aspect of video. Like it's always I'm doing one thing or another. Like it's never like specialized. I'm all over the place. But I was in the professional wrestling business for a long time, for about 10 years or so, and I started out as a wrestler and had about three matches or so, something like that, until I destroyed my ankle and figured out I couldn't do that again. And I have since kind of fallen out of love with the wrestling business. I still like their business. I still have a lot of friends in the business, but I'm no longer like active in it at all, So I figured the topic of wrestling might come up from time to time. So this is our so now I'm actively pursuing stand-up comedy, which I just kind of fell in love with, So that's kind of been eating up a lot of my time, a lot of my effort, So that's kind of what I'm doing now. I figured what I could use this show for is, to talk about the comedy scene here in Reno and, my own career. Of
What's
course,
sad as
Denny's
wrestling
career.
is a much more attainable career goal.
No way, dude. You've got to be. I don't know. Somebody told me once that the odds of becoming a professional wrestler to the amount that like you would earn your income from that is like 1 in a million. You know
With
what I
or
mean?
without performance-enhancing drugs.
Right.
Or spandex.
Well, spandex is a given. You have to pretty much do that. But yeah, pursuing stand-up comedy, and Mr. Wayne Walsh over here is kind of responsible for my forte into the comedy world.
I'm sorry.
I know, huh?
Mostly to the audiences out there.
Well,
I'm
thanks,
apologizing
man.
to them mostly.
How could you do that? I'm fucking hilarious.
Says
Well, my mom
Says your mom.
You know what's funny is my mom like loves my stuff, and I'm a dirty, disgusting performer. I know I'm terrible. I talk about dirty sex with fat girls I met on Craigslist.
Sometimes a little like visual.
Say that again.
You give a visual sometimes.
Oh yeah. Check your mic, Kristen, real quick. Is it on?
Yep, it's on.
Well, speak into it.
On like Donkey Kong.
Okay, can you hear
There
me
you
now?
go. I can kind of hear you now. I'm gonna turn you up a little bit.
Check.
Here, I'll turn mine into a little hall mic there.
Oh, there you go.
You gotta hide it in your shirt.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. Now I feel fancy.
You don't want a big black thing coming out from between your boobs.
This is-
That's the first rule
this
of
is like-
journalism.
The fanciest podcast going, so you
We're
know.
gonna have decorations soon, I swear.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that up to
I
you
think-
because
I
you're a
like
girl.
Bob Marley blanket I'll put up here, and I have some gymnastics posters.
What?
Hey, chicks in spandex.
Oh, okay. Well, now
that
I'm
makes it
fucking
okay.
sold.
14-year-olds in spandex.
Ooh.
Maybe.
That's not legal here, right?
They're
It's
old,
15.
They're old of age now. They're like older posters.
Oh, that's fine then.
That's okay now, right?
Yeah. I don't know why this reminded me. We were talking about female gymnastics once. Not Drake and I, but I was having a conversation about female gymnastics once, and it was like if it like the 18-year-olds in that field, like the 18-year-old like Olympic gymnasts are like they probably like get referred to as like grandma and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's some 28-year-old, I guess, competitive gymnasts right now. My roommate, she was a competitive gymnast until she was 17.
Wow.
She went trained with a Chinese team and stuff over in China. And she was legit.
You mean the Chinese team is in China? What?
No, the Chinese team in Brazil.
The Chinese team in San Francisco.
Kristen,
So
did,
we were
did
having a debate, who's more athletic, a gymnast or basketball player. And I was just, they're two completely different sports, so you can't compare.
The
That's
answer
how I
is
feel.
they're both more athletic than baseball players. I'll say we'll just open up the show right now. I'm gonna hate on baseball players every time it comes up.
I love baseball, but I played baseball.
Even the
and
Aces?
That was the least amount of effort I had to put into a sport. I played volleyball, basketball, gymnastics, baseball. Baseball was the easiest. Like,
Well-
like everything up around the bases. There's your cardio.
make sure you hold that mic a little closer there, Kristen.
Like this.
Yeah, make sure like it's a black dick, okay? Get it right in there. Yeah.
Pretend you're getting a strep culture from Wilt Chamberlain.
Then I should hold it back.
I would like to see like Kobe Bryant do some gymnastics. You know what I mean?
Very impossible.
Why? He's an athlete and he
Okay.
speaks Italian.
You could jump up on the bar and it would like fall. 'Cause
Like
it's so
how
big.
well do you think?
He's not that heavy.
How well do you think LeBron James would do?
I weigh
like
more
in,
than Kobe,
the
I'm pretty sure.
freestyle. Kobe would be better than LeBron. You think? Is that what you said, Wayne?
What's that?
Did you say LeBron would be better than Kobe on the rings?
I think any
Oh.
NBA player should kick ass on the rings because they
No.
don't have to like lift themselves off the
I know,
ground.
they just stand there.
Yeah.
Like those gymnasts are like 4'10", so they're like 3 feet off the ground. But like,
Oh my, it's ridiculous that's what those guys do. Like the tees, and they bring their legs up behind them. That's ridiculous. But then, okay, so the guy we were talking to, he was arguing that, well, a gymnast couldn't run up and down a basketball court for an hour. Which is
Oh yeah,
probably
they
true.
could.
But it's like you're thinking like
Their
aerobic
conditioning's
versus
way
anaerobic.
better, I'm sure.
But it's like short bursts of energy versus continuous, aerobic. I don't know. I just think they're not very comparable.
They're all behind like football, soccer, and
Soccer is ridiculous.
and hockey players. Those are like super physical sports.
Yeah, but soccer's just running. I mean, anybody can run. I can run, not for very long. But
But they run like nonstop.
That's why I never wanted to
They
play
don't even
soccer.
have quarters.
I was like, all that effort for 2 goals, maybe.
yeah.
Not interested.
Yeah.
I thought I read something today, and Kristen, you like sports. Maybe you can back me up. Wayne hates sports. But I read something that that somebody is considering taking away the kickoff in football. Have you heard anything about
Yeah,
that?
I've heard. I don't know. I haven't really kept up with it much, but I heard there like all these changes they're trying to make. And it's all about safety, and keeping receivers safe. And
Wah.
exactly.
Receivers
like,
or quarterbacks?
Everybody. You can't touch a quarterback. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all for. I don't want to see a guy get laid out and paralyzed. I mean, for sure, that's horrible. But at the same time, I mean, it's a contact sport.
Yeah, to me, I'm frustrated with it. I mean, I played football, but like I played in high school, and obviously the game once you get to the NFL level is like so much bigger, faster, stronger. Like I got hit once to where I was dizzy. Like I got hit hard enough to where I got my bell rung and I was dizzy. Like nowhere near concussion status, but like they're getting paid so much money. And the fact that you hear about these players that are like filing bankruptcy and stuff like now, and they're players that you've heard of. Like what was the one like Ricky Williams or somebody?
I don't know about Ricky Williams. That guy's made some pretty good money.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. It was a running back, NFL running back.
Yeah.
Like he was a household name at one point, like probably back in like the late 90s or something
Was
like
it
that.
the guy for the Broncos?
Maybe.
You know what I'm talking about? I can't remember his name, but he was like an awesome running back for like 3 years.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
And I think
3
he won the
years.
Super Bowl and
But
then just became nothing.
Still, you got to admit, like you got to think he had to like gotten like at least $6 million during that.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
to have that kind of money and then to come out of it with nothing, well, you're an idiot.
Yeah. Why couldn't you hire a financial guy?
Well, then maybe they should be safer because maybe it's because of concussions. just joking.
Not hiring a financial
He
guy.
got so many head wounds that he became an idiot and lost all his money.
He just became an idiot.
To me, it's a calculated risk
He
thing.
wasn't born
Like
that
you
way.
know, playing in the NFL that the
Exactly.
possibility for injury is there.
Just
but
like any sport or any physical activity, driving your car.
exactly.
There's the potential for physical injury, so you have insurance. Or flying in a plane, anything. Like,
And they've shortened up the preseason considerably. It's like so there's less injury and less wear on the veteran players, so they don't basically train year round like they used to. They actually get like a few months off now, and which I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with it. Yes, they get treated like pieces of meat, but then it's like, all right, well, get a
it's
degree.
worth it. They get paid to be treated that way. Right. Like
So you're
celebrities.
saying are you saying they're sellouts?
No. I mean, I did the same thing. Like
you get a concussion, you got paid enough to get your concussion.
Yeah.
I think
I did the same thing, like tearing my body up working heavy construction, but
Yeah.
I knew I was getting paid to do it, so I don't know.
Kristen, do you want to come over and log into Facebook so you can share the podcast?
No.
No, you don't want any evidence of this?
I don't want my grandparents to see.
Are they on your face?
Does that mean
Yeah.
we
Really?
gotta get
We're
rid of the
Facebook
whole
friends.
casting couch
Nice.
segment that we were planning on doing, Drake?
Yes.
What is that?
Fuck.
You haven't heard of the casting couch?
Mm.
Really? Wayne, would you like to explain, or would you like me to explain the casting
I'll let
couch?
you explain.
All right, so basically, the casting couch is this like new genre of porn that is coming out right now, and it's basically this, like, someone puts out an ad on Craigslist or some other type of online advertisement, right? About, we're looking for girls to do porn or whatever. So these girls answer this ad, and then they show up to the guy's house, and it's an office. It kind of looks like this, I guess.
Wait,
It's
what
just-
did I get myself into
I know,
here?
huh?
They're making enough money to hire a cleaning lady, though,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
So basically, dude just, he says, yeah, I know all these producers and whatnot, and I'm going to need to take your picture on video, and we're going to send it all over the world and get you bookings. You can make $5,000 or whatever. And they fall for it. So he's basically like, he just walks up. He's like, all right, I'm going to need you to suck my cock right now, And they're like, okay. At first they kind of fight, but he's like, well, you can leave anytime. You know what I mean? It's awesome. But I heard it's all staged, which is fine. You're not ruining my fantasy at all. I really, I think it's entertaining, especially when they fight. You know what I mean? It's great.
That's awesome.
Casting couch. Look it
Yeah, I
up.
don't think we should do that.
I like coercing young, impressionable girls into playing crack whores.
Oh, yeah. And
That's
then
a
having it.
long inside story.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kristen.
So that could be a going back to like what we could do with this podcast is we can play videos and whatnot. So Wayne and I, he's been over to my house many times in this studio, pulling long hours doing editing, and we just had a recent project which we're not really going to talk about right now, but we spent a lot of time editing, and the project blew up in our faces. So
Through no fault of our own
Yeah.
whatsoever.
just something happened, and
Yeah.
we can't edit that one anymore. But for future things that we work on, we can show on this show. You know what I mean? So eventually we'll do stuff. We can take Skype calls and whatnot. So if we're on a
I thought we should have a Pinterest segment.
oh yeah, that's totally fine. I mean, I'll
That's
Wayne's
I'll
like,
totally
that's
leave.
lame.
that's like girl crack. Pinterest is
Oh,
girl
yeah.
crack.
Yeah,
That's like female porn
I will reach
now.
that demographic right there.
Every new show that I've seen in the last like 3 months has covered Pinterest in
It's the third
some
most
form.
popular website right now.
The third?
Behind Facebook and Twitter.
Really?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I saw it.
what do you
on
think
TV.
the percentage of female users is on Pinterest?
60%.
60? So
See, I
so-
thought, well, okay, there's a
It's
story,
gotta be
there's this
higher
news
than
story I
that.
saw that says 60, but no, I think it has at least be 90. Because I know, personally, I know one dude who has said, oh, Nick is following you on Pinterest, and I was shocked. I was like, a dude? Like, once in a blue moon, I see a guy on there, but it has to be
I
way
do like
higher.
the
I don't know.
marketing
At
strategy
least
of
75,
Pinterest.
I would think.
You like businesses are using it. Like
Yeah.
they'll have a page with their products, and and
Well, see, doesn't that make it? Well, that's what'll be the death of Pinterest. It'll be the corporations getting to where if everything is a commercial, like nobody's gonna watch that.
right, like
Nobody's
Facebook
gonna
is doing
click on that. I mean, once it turns into
Well, I mean, even like photographers, for instance, because there's like a photography. There's like travel, like clothes, makeup,
well, that's at
home,
least on
do it
the
yourself, and
fringe
then
of
there's
artistic.
photographer. So yeah, so there's like photographers who will have their page, and then you see, and then say, oh, look, I see this photograph I really like, so I pin onto my page, and then my friends will see it, and then their friends will see it, and then it just blows up. So
I do like the whole marketing aspect of it. Like, Wayne, did you know you have to be invited to join Pinterest?
I could
you
invite
can't
you,
just
Wayne.
go. Like, you have to be
I can
like
invite you.
invited into
I-
the club.
I'm okay.
good.
I'm okay.
I'm okay
I
too.
kind of got the end, I could hook you up.
I spend enough time on Facebook and Twitter. Like, I just don't have time for any more social media bullshit.
I have time for Pinterest during
except for
work.
YouTube. I'm on.
I do
I do a
none
lot of
of it.
YouTube.
That's
do.
a good
Yeah,
idea.
you do none of it. You have your secretary slash awesome fiance who handles all your social media.
Yeah.
You know, I never,
great.
ever was on Facebook until I got the full-time job I have now.
Mhm.
Or the one actually before it. Like, when I first started working full-time at the business I'm at now.
So you're saying being employed gave you the
No, all I do is
the
I
free
sit in
time
front. No, I sit in front of a computer for
Yeah.
9 hours, 9-10 hours, and my business is very Facebook friendly. It's a requirement, and yeah, like I never ever got on my Facebook ever because I wasn't online except for when I was at school or something. I didn't even have the internet at my house,
Yeah.
and then started working full time.
Now you got indoor
I'm working,
plumbing
I'm
and
like,
shit.
oh, I need like a little mental break, and I
Did
check
you
out
did you have
Facebook.
an outhouse growing up?
no internet means outhouse.
Yeah.
No, maybe. I am from Beatty,
Beatty.
Let's
fuck.
go into you, Kristen. Give us your life story. Go.
Well, I was born in Phoenix, Arizona. Yes.
It's not like Phoenix, Minneapolis,
No,
or the
Phoenix, AZ.
or where Wayne went, the University of
Hot.
Phoenix.
Right.
They wouldn't accept me.
I grew in Phoenix till I was about 13 in the ghetto, and then my mom got remarried, and we moved to Beatty, Nevada, which
Where
was
the hell is
it's
Beatty,
100 miles north
Nevada?
of Vegas, and it was population 2,000. It's probably I think around 1,000 now. But
Do they have a
moved there,
Walmart yet?
they don't have anything.
It's
There's
like
two
right in
gas
between
stations.
Pahrump and Vegas.
There's not even a
right?
stoplight. There's not
Really?
even there's not even a stoplight. There used to be this flashing red light, and they don't even have that anymore. It's just a stop sign. It's like 45 minutes from Death Valley. So right there on that Nevada-California border.
There ain't shit out there.
No, my junior high in Phoenix had more kids in it than this town did.
Wow.
And yeah, it was definitely funny. This chick was giving me like the tour, and there's the 3 classrooms on one side of the hallway and the 3 classrooms on the other. But there was all these different buildings, so I was like, okay, well, where's the rest? And she's like, the rest of what? Like, the rest is the elementary school, and I remember when I went to the office, like, to see the nurse, and the secretary just laughed at me. She's like, honey, I am the nurse. Like, what do you need? Yeah, it was really small, and it was just me and my mom, and we moved in with my stepdad, who had 6 of 10 children still at home, so that was kind of different, too.
Wait, 10?
He had 10 kids all together, 6 of which still lived at home.
God, stop fucking.
His wife, she just liked to have babies, I guess.
There
But
you
so
go.
yeah, me and my mom, we moved into this, and so that's where I went to high school. So I had the best of both
Wayne,
worlds.
would you say that the sign of your town expanding into the rest of society is when it gets a Walmart?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or fast food.
There's 2 levels. Yeah.
There's a McDonald's.
Oh,
level
okay.
one.
Level 1 is Dairy Queen.
They have a Denny's now. They have a Denny's.
Really?
Level 1 is Dairy Queen. Level
No
2 is
stoplight,
McDonald's.
but they got a Denny's.
Level 3 is Walmart.
Level 3.
Yeah.
That's when you can start like having like a mayor and shit.
That's when you go from town to city.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So from Beatty, I bounced back and forth between Phoenix and Beatty. So I'm kind of a city girl and a small town girl. But after high school, my best friend and I went to Susanville, to Lassen College for junior college. And
Went to Susanville for prison.
people were like, "Why would you come to school here?" We're like,
y'all
got Burger King.
I was just
you know?
about to say that.
Like, if you knew where we came from, this is like big time,
so
right?
you basically went from one small town and
a
were
slightly less
educated
small town.
in another small town.
Yeah.
How's that possible?
Yeah, but
Now, did you
it was easy.
how much research did you do to get into Lassen College? Did you
I got
send some
recruited
letters
for
out?
volleyball.
Oh, okay. Is that what it was? You were recruited?
We went to volleyball camp there, and then they were like, "Hey, come be on the team." But they said that to everybody, so it's not like a big deal to get
Yeah.
recruited for Lassen College. I'm sorry if I offended anybody, but it's not that tight. Like,
offend your alma mater.
I
of
also played
Lassen College.
I also played softball there, and
You were a 2-star athlete in
oh, yeah.
Lassen College?
oh yeah, it was like I went there to play volleyball, and they're like, "Oh, you played softball? Yeah, do you want to be on the team? Sure." Or, hey, Wayne,
That was the tryout.
Or it was like, hey, Wayne, you've never played softball? Do you want to be on the team?
Do you want to try?
For reals, that like there was 2 or 3 girls on our team who had never played ever before.
And this is at the college level.
Junior college.
Junior
I mean,
college.
I mean, small, but it was rough. We didn't win like a single game.
I bet.
I would just stare at the fence like, I could just leave right now. It was bad.
That's funny.
Yeah, and then I went to Southern California for a couple years and decided it wasn't for me and came back to Nevada and came to
Too
Reno.
many people for you. I would imagine going from
It's just
Beatty
expensive.
to Lassen to Hollywood would be quite a stretch.
Well, I mean, I went back and forth to Phoenix. You know, I did a year in high school there and a year of college there, and so I mean, I'm cool with the city stuff. It just wasn't for me, you know, and so I came up here to Reno, and I love it. I like Reno.
What brought you to Reno, though?
To finish school. I didn't want to go to Vegas, and so I came to Reno. Millennium Scholarship, which I lost after my first year because I went out like 5 nights a week and didn't go to class. So
Yeah.
That'll do it.
that happens when you have to like, oh, I'm going to repeat last year completely.
So, just to let you guys know, Kristen and I work together, and we need to be a little hush-hush about the job, the company that we work for.
CIA.
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, right. Do you think they'd let us in? I don't think. We're the test subjects for
Not
the CIA.
Not with my record, that's for damn sure. No, my record's
We're the test
clean,
subjects.
but yeah, we need to be a little
We work at
hush
Chili's.
about we work at Chili's. And the news business.
What is the was it Flingers, the fictitious Chili's
Shenanigans.
TGI
Yeah.
Fridays?
No, Shenanigans.
Shenanigans, that's
Right? From Waiting?
I was talking about Office Space.
Oh, okay.
Flingers, yeah.
That's-
There are lots of places called Shenanigans, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a
and
real
that took place in
isn't it?
Riverside, that's where I lived for
It's
when it came
a
out.
real place in Grants Pass, Oregon, because I've played there
Nice.
at Shenanigans.
Maybe we could do a podcast at every Shenanigans in America.
That sounds like a deal. You think?
If you
By the
want
way,
Shenanigans, if you want us to come to your,
there you go.
restaurant,
See, we're trying to.
we're there.
I would really like to get some sponsors.
I even know the birthday song.
We'll come there for free, and then we'll talk about how much it's going to cost us to leave.
There you go.
Give us some
I use
food
the
and
same
we'll
line
leave.
at the Mustang Ranch, Wayne.
What?
I use that same line at the Mustang Ranch.
How much will you pay me to leave?
Yeah.
That's
No,
a good
but we
one.
are. I would
Let's
really.
try that sometime.
I could really get some sponsors for this show, like products that I use, like Old Spice. I'm a big fan of Old Spice. All the deodorant and shampoo products. Like we could get a sponsor for, Kristen. What kind of feminine hygiene products are you using right now?
Suave, I think.
Suave?
Is that? I forget what. I
What
don't,
is that? That's
no,
a shampoo.
secret deodorant.
Secret deodorant. Okay.
You know, like made for a woman.
Right.
Or something like that. Like,
I will totally.
Right.
works
have
for a man, but made for a woman.
I will totally have a MaxiPad advertisement behind my face at all times, just right behind my head. Whatever pays the
We're
bills.
like Kotex and
Yeah,
pads
and
stick 'em to the wall.
when we get a sponsorship, Christian, I want you to autograph the MaxiPad for me, if that's cool.
I will.
And red
Sweet.
lipstick.
There you go. Wayne Walsh, my
Do that right now.
friend.
Yes, sir.
Let's hear from you. I want to hear your life story.
I don't even know your life story, Wayne. I want to hear
Wayne's got quite an interesting life.
Oh God.
A lot of pressure now, bud.
We're
Let's
not.
hear it.
We're not
Make it
telling all of it.
interesting.
I'll tell you that right now.
because it's a long
we
story.
can
He's
we can
old.
skip the
He's really old.
that time you spent in prison.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I was born, and then I'm here.
And now I'm here.
Yeah. No, I was pretty much raised like a military brat, even though my dad wasn't in the military at all anymore. But like, I don't know. Like I grew up. I was born in Tahoe. Well, I was actually born in Reno, but my parents lived in Tahoe at the time. And let's see. By time I was in 7th grade, I'd been to 8 different schools. And
Are you
ended
good at
up-
making friends, or were you just not?
A little of both. Yeah, I mean, I was good at making friends, but like when you're the new kid, you're always the outcast. And so anyway, I fought a lot. That's how I learned to be funny. You know, is you know,
Constantly entertaining people.
well,
Is it kind of like thing if you make the joke first, kind of thing, like then they can't make fun of you, or?
no, I wasn't much into self-deprecating humor back then, which is probably why I got my ass kicked a lot. But
I've seen a couple of comics. I'm like, oh, I see where you're coming from.
I was a
So
smart
I say I'm
ass.
fat before you do.
But I ended up by the time I got to 7th grade, I ended up staying there from 7th grade on in Yerington, Nevada. So I'm also
I know some people from Yerington.
small town Nevada. Yeah.
Marco
so,
Fernandez and Tanya Glass.
I know Tanya.
Are you sure
Yeah?
you want to
I worked with
mention?
her at Outback.
Are you sure you want to mention their last names on this show?
Yeah,
because
it's okay.
we're going to talk about
I
some
worked at that Outback
disgusting
at one
things.
point. Yeah, I did.
You worked at the Outback?
I did.
Was Ron the owner or
Yeah.
proprietor? Yeah, I worked there for like 2 years. I love Ron. He's like the best boss I ever had.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
That Larry guy sucks, but
What about
Larry, I didn't make Larry. I think Larry died.
I thought you said your current pimp Jumbo
Barry.
was
Never
your
mind.
favorite
Barry.
boss.
Oh. I know you're
but
I thought you said your pimp Jumbo is your favorite boss.
I don't
ever.
have a pimp, and I'm not here for Craigslist porn. Just to let everybody know. I am not that girl.
we tried to hire that girl, but she was busy.
She had another booking.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're
she had something
stuck
where
with
they were paying
Kristen.
her.
We're
So,
stuck with Kristen.
I'm free.
But,
sunburnt, showing
No,
off
you
her.
Just whisper some sweet little nothings in my ear. I'm I'm free. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, Yerington. You're from Yerington.
Yeah. So
How old were you when you moved to Yerington?
7th grade through graduation. It was the longest I ever really was in one place ever. And then I don't know.
I don't know much about nothing, but I think growing up in Yerington would suck.
A little less than Beatty though, so it is bigger than Beatty.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't bad. I mean, there wasn't that much
the
trouble
Scolari's.
that I could get into. You know what I mean? Because like the guys that were getting the trouble were just because there was only like 6 of them or whatever.
Right.
You know, like they were guys that I didn't get along with. So like I didn't get in trouble. You know, like
Wayne, walk me.
I just didn't
Go ahead.
get caught. I mean, small town. All we did was one of my stepbrothers. He was older stepbrother, so he was our buyer. I got the buyer. I got the pitch-ins. We found the spot, and
see,
all we did
I
was
was such
drink
a
and
goody
party.
two-shoes when I was in high school.
and I still went to church every Sunday.
Oh, there's your
Hypocrite.
ticket into heaven.
Yeah.
I know. Church with a hangover.
Yo, I sucked 10 miles of cock, but at least
didn't
I
do
can
that.
quote the
I just-
Bible.
I drank like 3 beers and was like, woo.
3 beers is enough.
That was,
To
for
enjoy a big-
17-year-old me.
A big cock sandwich.
No, I was a good girl. I did not do that till at least.
I didn't start fucking
Another
up
year.
and getting stupid until I was in my 20s.
Wayne, walk me through a typical Friday night in Yerington.
For me,
Walking.
or for
the
anybody?
average Yeringtonite.
Because I was far from average.
What was your average Friday night?
Video
let's
games?
See, from
That's my Friday.
like sophomore to junior
Friday
year on, somewhere in there. I had like the same girlfriend from there on out. So like Friday night was like me and my girlfriend are gonna hang out and watch TV with like my mom, and then go to bed and have sex because like my mom kind of figured that since I wasn't
had a
going
boy.
out and getting in trouble, and like I was pulling down decent grades and
So she'd let you have sex?
playing football. Yeah. Yeah,
Pussy's
totally.
okay.
No, it's totally different though. It's
You got a
totally
cool
different
mom.
when you're a boy versus being a girl. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
I was such a good kid. Like, well, okay, yeah, I partied, but my parents didn't know. Well, they probably did, but I didn't think they knew. But I
They
got
do
really
now.
good grades, and I was involved in school. I played every sport. But if I wanted to stay and have my boyfriends in town, we had to call the mom, we called the dad, and they talked, and he slept on the couch. It was crazy. My little brother, when he had a girlfriend, he'd go over to the next town, They'd stay the night. My mom found a condom in his bag. He tried to tell it was like one of his friends. It doesn't matter because he's a boy. Like,
Oh, see, I
it's
was like on a
100%
first name
different.
basis with the public health nurse back then.
no. Like when I went to the nurse,
Because
they
all
were
the
like,
incurable STDs.
they're
you
like,
had?
oh, so
No.
you have a boyfriend? Yeah. So you're having sex? I was like, no. I'm like, it's a small town, right? So everybody is. Everyone's had sex with everybody. And I wasn't. And it was so unbelievable.
I had sex with one person. Like the whole, how gay was that? But no, like
Pretty
like, I would go to the
Hey,
public.
you know what? You're getting
I would go to the
laid more
public
than
health
half
nurse
the
and
other
get
guys.
30 condoms for $1. You know, and I would see her once a month. Like every
not
30
bad.
days.
Nice.
Every 30 days,
yeah,
I
I
would
had
be
some
like,
condoms
"Hey,
once.
what's up, Yvonne?
and they expired.
That
I
is
throw 'em away.
that's pretty hard to
You
believe.
dirty,
No,
dirty girl."
I was a girl. I waited a while, and I was with the same guy for
Oh,
a
I
long
thought you were
time.
saying you were just getting
No,
down
they expired
bareback.
because
She's
I didn't
getting-
use them.
She's getting all the dick.
Yeah, they expired. Says I don't use them. No, I'm just joking. Yes, use condoms. They're important.
You mean used?
Use them.
This-
Use them.
This podcast was brought to you by Lifestyles.
There you
There
go.
you
Another
go. That
sponsor
goes
for
back
you, Drake.
to the sponsor.
Durex.
Yeah, we need some condom sponsorships. I mean, I don't use them per se,
Well, you
but
would.
I think that you should.
Sex is.
I heard someone once make a joke that there's a new spray-on condom. It's like you just spray it on. I was like, that could get messy.
Spray on.
I think if you're with a girl that you're concerned about a mess like that, then just fucking go for it. You know what I mean? There's no salvaging that.
It's like, hold on, I need to spray on my condom.
So what happened after high school, Wayne?
I went to UNR TMCC for a little while.
Those are two separate colleges, right?
Yeah,
Not
but
for
I lived on
everybody.
the UNR dorms, but you can take classes at both at the same time. And
How did you pay for school?
I had a couple scholarships.
Really?
Nothing huge, and then my parents were paying a lot of it, and then when my dad was re-diagnosed with cancer, I dropped out and joined the Air Force. Little did I know that I could have, drawn his Social Security until I was 23, and didn't have to drop out. But I'm the king of, stupid. Oh, if I only had known decisions. But no, I dropped out, joined the Air Force. Got married a couple of times, divorced a couple of times.
What was your job? What was your MOS in the Air Force? That's
MOS
technical term.
is for fucking grunts. In the Air Force, we had AFSCs.
Oh, I was totally wrong. I apologize about that.
Yeah. No, I was a
terrible.
ComNav.
What is that?
So I worked aircraft
Combat
communications, radar, and navigation systems on the U-2 spy plane.
That sounds like
That's what I
important
did.
shit. You don't even know how to work Twitter. How are you going to work all that important shit?
Shut up. Nah, it was all right. It was all right. I mean, I definitely liked my job a lot better than I liked being in the Air Force. I was a much better technician than I was an airman. I was a shitty airman. But I was decent at my job.
See, I would have liked to have joined the military, but they told me that I'd have to do like push-ups and stuff, and I'm not into push-ups. I mean, I can pull a trigger, but push-ups and sit-ups
Crazy
and
good
stuff
shape
are
at
just
one point.
not my thing. So was I. I got in really good shape when I was training for wrestling. I would train when I was training for wrestling. I would drive like an hour and a half or an hour to Yuba City from Chico and get my head kicked in like 3 or 4 times a week. And then
Yuba
those other
City.
days, Yuba City.
That's
That's
my
where I
old
trained.
stomping. That's where I was stationed.
In Yuba City? At
Beale Air Force Base, yeah.
Beale.
Yeah.
I never saw the Air Force Base because the only thing I went to Yuba City was for wrestling. But I would go there and get my head kicked in by this guy named Schizo, and he was a fucking schizo.
Nice.
He's serving about 25 years to life in prison right now because he's a fucking schizo, literally.
Nice.
But I would train with
Did he
him.
shoot up an IHOP?
No, that was the guy might have been related to Schizo because that guy was fucking insane too. But I trained there with Schizo and Zach Reeb, the owner and proprietor of Pro Champ. There are a lot of P's right there. Pro Championship Wrestling. That's where I got my start. But right around that time, I was like 20, 21, and in really good shape. Not like now.
How did you get into that? What, did you just see like a brochure somewhere that says, so you want to be a professional wrestler?
Right.
Yeah, well, I had been interested in wrestling for a long time since I was a kid. And then,
Did
when
you think it was real?
At one point when I was real young.
Like, it is real.
I would defend it when I was like 10, 11, 12 years old, something like that. I would challenge people to fights and shit. And
Yeah,
I'd put
I
them
knew
in
a
holds.
weird kid like that who didn't shower. High school.
He what?
He didn't shower much.
He didn't?
No.
Oh.
And he would defend it.
That sounds like me. But yeah, I was an athletic kid. I played all three sports in high school, and I was pretty good. And but when I graduated high school, I wasn't good enough to like play college sports or anything. I probably could have walked on somewhere in one of the sports.
Lassen.
Probably at Lassen.
Got recruited to
Yeah.
Lassen. Big deal. Just saying. It's a big deal.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just like right around that time, which was like the late 90s, there were wrestling schools popping up all over the place. Atlanta, New York, California, Southern California.
Kind of like how MMA is now.
Yeah, like there's just training facilities all over the place. So that's what I did. And then I was in Chico, Orville at the time, and found PCW, found Pro Championship Wrestling. So I got on their website and I met with them.
They
and
had
stuff,
websites
and
back then? That's
they
crazy.
sure did. We're in modern
Prodigy.
technology. So that was my little rant on how I got in the wrestling business. So what else we got going on? Did you guys hear about that fucking... Oh, did you have some more stuff to add about your life story, Wayne?
Just I don't know. I
How did
started doing stand up like 8 years ago.
How did you get into stand-up?
Do you know Josie, right?
No, I do not.
Black chick that bartends over at the Pioneer Underground.
Oh, yeah. She's got a great attitude.
Yeah, she's a really cool chick.
Yeah.
I got to know her, and we ended up working together at the convention center. And she's just, she's a fun chick. And at some point, she's like, you know what? You're really funny. You've got 2 weeks to write 6 minutes. You're going to an open mic. So I did. And I went to my first open mic, which was at the Speakeasy, which is now a condominium complex.
The
They're
Regency now, right?
on 6th Street, I think. Yeah. So there was like 6 people there. It was like my best friend, his wife, who I don't hardly see at all anymore. But anyway, and then like a couple of comics. Eric the Retard, he was there. You don't know Eric the Retard? Okay. He's a fun story. We'll spend an entire show talking about him.
I've only been in the game since like December.
Oh, that's right.
I started coming around last summer, but I only started performing in December. I don't know anybody.
Yeah, and he never went to 3rd Street. He always went to Basin. But anyway, that was my first one, and then I went to Great Basin, and at some point, and then.
So Great Basin's been doing open mic for a long time now.
Yeah. Years. And then there was a break because a certain comic ran that into the ground, and somebody had to breathe life back into it. But I don't know. I think it was like there was a Harrah's had a competition for a while. It was the Search for the Stars competition. They did 2 rounds of it, and like the winner got like a huge chunk of change. It was like $2,000 or something like that. And stage time at the Improv up in Tahoe, big deal, right? Yeah. And as soon as there was like, the smell of blood hit the water, there was like professional comics, like 20-year guys that were coming down from Sacramento and everything like that. And it was like to win and get into the finals, like it was only just a 6-minute set, which that was all I had, but I had a really good 6 minutes. Mm-hmm. And so I'm competing against all these guys, and I was coming in second every week. Boom, 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 second. And then there was like one time there's a guy, I'll never forget his name, Mickey Joseph, and he was like a 20-year guy out of Sacramento. And he ended up beating me by the narrowest of margins because I had a decibel meter. And he had packed the crowd with his people. I don't know how he got a bunch of people from Sacramento down here. Like, I live here and I can't even get 3 friends out to a fucking show, you know. And anyway, there were people that I didn't even know that were like standing on chairs screaming because I kicked his ass that night. Like, I had a great fucking set, and then but he had all of his friends there, so like people I didn't even know were like standing on chairs yelling bullshit. So that was like, it was such a good feeling that to see that. And that's when I was like, you know what, I could probably do this. And that was when I first decided that I wanted to pursue comedy as a career, and still working on it, but it's really hard. But
well, there's no like direct path on how to get to that.
And everybody's got
what I
their
mean?
own path.
Yeah, I tell you what, I've been motivated very swiftly because ever since I've been handed a dollar bill to do comedy, I'm like, this is for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being able to stay on stage and get paid for that, like, that's just fucking awesome. So I'm real motivated to do that shit.
It's pretty awesome.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
I mean, it's something like, if I get to the point where that's all I have to do for a living, well, fuck, man.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Just showing up and, I think the ideal career for me would be like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know what I mean? You're in a different venue or 3 in 1 for a weekend.
And I would love to live on the road. Yeah. Like, I mean, that's something I would do. Travel the country and tell, hang out in bars and tell jokes to drunk people. Like, I would do that shit for free. Like, if I won the lottery tomorrow and I never had to work again, like, that would be what I would do for a hobby. So if, like, that's all I have to do for a living and I get paid to do that, well, fuck it, man. I'm retired. How many people do you know that are, retired at 35?
Now, tell me how you got into hosting the 3rd Street Bar competition. Plug it, and then tell me how you got into it.
Well, the 3rd Street open mic competition is the greatest local comedy show in northern Nevada, and I don't even think that's an exaggeration. It just
I don't think so.
No, and it's really cool just because, like, I'll occasionally get phone calls or whatever, emails from people from like Milwaukee or Chicago or that have heard somehow word of mouth about the open mic, and I've heard like, hey, if you're ever in Reno, that's the place you need to go,
Right.
And Kinsey Damon, have you ever met Kinsey?
Yes and no. It was mostly like, hi, how are you?
Okay.
That's it. But I am aware. I know who she is. I doubt she knows who I am, but I know who she is.
Yeah, Kinsey Damon, she started that show there because Mickle's wife, Cassandra, you've met Cassandra, right? And if you met her, you'd remember because she's insanely gorgeous. But they went to high school together, something like that. So Kinsey got the in to start doing comedy there, and then she did it for like 2 years and basically got burnt out on it. And I got the job basically because I used to drink so much that I basically put Mickle's kid through college. And that, I just got to be really good friends with the owners, and they basically were fans of mine because I was there every week telling jokes, and they loved my stuff. So when Kinsey left, they offered me the hosting gig, and I don't know if it's because of me or just because of who's been coming up, but it has grown, considerably in the, I think, what is it, almost 2 years that I've been hosting it now. So it's kind of taken on a life of its own a little bit. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's a great environment for comedy and people starting out for it. You know.
We have so many new people this week. It's insane.
Oh yeah, I started coming around when guys like Tim Dufresne and Jordan and PK and Mike Garrity, who Mike Garrity was my favorite of that bunch. I saw a lot of like natural raw talent in Mike Garrity, and he reminded me a lot of myself. You know, he's kind of an athletic guy, tough guy. Not that I'm a tough guy, but I'm athletic. You know what I mean? But you know what impressed me about Mike Garrity one time, Wayne, is I had just seen him like kill it at 3rd Street, and then he did a 15. So I saw him like 2 weeks in a row, and then the next week, this is summertime of last year, the next time he does a 5-minute, and he's in flip-flops, and he kills it. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow, that guy can fucking... I don't know, I was just impressed by that. I was like, he's just up there fucking around, and he hit every joke. You know, I just thought, wow, dude, Mike Garrity's the shit. So, all those guys are now
gone. My favorite was always Tim Dufresne.
Yeah, see, I didn't...
Is amazing.
And I only got a couple glimpses of Tim Dufresne.
You missed out.
Yeah, but from what I saw, he was really good. You know, and I'll tell you a quick Tim Dufresne story. Here's my only interaction with Tim Dufresne. It's a weird story because it has nothing to do with like him as a comedian. But he was moving to Chicago.
Yeah.
Which is coincidentally the same place Garrity went to.
Right.
Anyway, I'm notoriously cheap. I'm very cheap. I'm a geek technologically, but I'm cheap. I don't like to spend money at all. So I answer this Craigslist ad for a it wasn't even an answer. It was pretty much a statement on Craigslist about a free office chair. Somebody was moving.
Oh,
right?
is that the one that I killed?
Killed?
Yeah, the one that I broke.
No, it was a different chair. It was kind of like the one I'm sitting in now, which I actually spent the money on. It's a very comfortable, fucking badass leather chair. Anyway, I saw this chair online that somebody was going to... And the ad was something like, 9 o'clock on Sunday, meet at this intersection by Idlewild Park in Reno. So I walk like a mile over there, right? And there's like 50 other people there, right? For free shit. So, and nobody knows what's going on. I think it's a joke. I think somebody posted this ad just to see how many people would show up at this fucking intersection on a Sunday morning, right? So there's like 50 other people there. There's cars up and down the block. And who comes out of a house on the corner of the street but Tim Dufresne, right? He comes out and he's like, oh, man, there's a lot of people here, right? And I recognize him. I'm like, hey, that's Tim Dufresne from Wednesday Comedy, you know? So... make a long story short, he starts taking shit out of his house and dumping it on the corner, right? And first he takes like a shitty dresser like this one over here, you know, and nobody touches it. And then he brings out this table and nobody touches it. And then he brings out a chair, right? Not the exact chair that I wanted, but it was like an office chair. And he sits it down and people are like, I don't know if I want it. Well, this one asshole, like, sits in the chair, right? Like a fucking smartass. He sits in the chair, and then the prize comes out, this badass office chair. So he brings it out, and some guy snatched it. And I was so fucking mad, because that was the only reason I got there. But come to find out, I went to Tim Dufresne's roast. You were there, right? Yeah, you were there.
I hosted it.
You hosted it. It was a great roast.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this, but Tim Dufresne's got this huge masturbation problem. Apparently masturbates like all the time.
He's got like 2 terabytes of porn.
Right,
or something
yeah,
like
it's
that.
an insane amount of porn.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, wow, thank God I didn't get that chair because that's the Thank God I didn't get that disgusting chair that he spent hours of time jacking off in. And this guy probably took it home to his family and shit. You know, oh, I got a free chair.
Yeah.
It's probably
That's
worse
great.
than that couch you guys are on. So that's my Tim Dufresne story.
Yeah, Tim's a cool dude, man.
But yeah, a lot of new faces over at 3rd Street. I think it's a great place to try your comedy chops, as they say. A lot of people, you know, you meet people all the time that they say that they're funny, or oh, so and so thinks I'm funny, or you know, and but they don't have the balls to actually get on stage and try it, you know. So
I feel like it would be. I mean, I'm never gonna stand up, but I feel like it'd be two different things, you know.
it is.
Like you can be funny, you know, in a room with people or with your friends, but I think it's a whole nother thing to be able to engage an audience and
Well, yeah,
and
it's
stuff
two
like that.
it's two completely different things. Because
Yeah,
like
you-
I'm not.
1,000 people are like, oh, I'm so funny, but yeah, that does. I don't feel like.
Oh yeah, you're having a
correlate.
a
I think
one-sided
you'd be like the
conversation.
most quiet, like dude that no one even knows exists, you know, and I don't know, maybe they could be funny as a stand-up comedian versus the guy who's the loud mouth,
Right.
always cracking jokes, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and then those guys get up on stage because they think they're super funny, and they're just like, hey, and there's this time, and
Oh yeah.
blah.
That's one of the
I was
things-
told, I told Drake and Pat
What's
that they were two of my favorites because some guys get up there and all they talk about is sex and drugs. Oh, you know,
I
that's
do
all
that
they,
too, though.
All they do
Yeah.
is tell like a sex joke or then a drug joke, and there's stories that you know never happened. You're like, yeah, that guy's never had sex, you know, and but you know these guys. Then Drake will get up there and he'll have a joke about some, I don't know, he'll make a joke about like a current issue or just he has like I think it was one night and you had 5 different jokes and they all 5 had to do with completely different topics and it was nice. It was like nice not to hear like come joke, who smokes weed? Hey,
I
no,
do
no
that too,
response.
though.
You know,
Yeah.
but that's not all you do.
No,
It's like,
I
oh,
have
I'm gonna
a
tell a
wide
joke about,
range.
hey, who does coke? Hey, no, so I was having sex with this chick once, which you know wasn't true, because you're like, yeah. who
You know,
the
I've
heck did
tried to
you?
talk about some of that stuff on stage, and it's so unrelatable. Like, my life experience in that department, like, is so unrelatable. Like,
You mean in the sex and drug part or in the current affairs part?
sex and drug part. Like, as I've tried to use actual stories from my life and
Well,
and
everyone
work
likes
on
a joke that they can relate to. You
Yeah,
know?
like-
oh my God, that's so true. You know,
I-
that's the joke that everyone likes.
I was in a position, like, when it was my second marriage. Like, the first one we were married for like 5 minutes. We were actually together for 5 months before we split up, and then the second marriage I was in, I was with a woman who was like 9 years older than me. She was
Nice.
so I was 20, she was 29. Her last serious relationship was with a woman for 6 years before me, you know what I mean? So like we were going to swingers, or everything that's on a guy's bucket list for the most part, like on a lot of guys' bucket lists. Like I had all that shit like crossed off by like
Not even the first year of marriage.
yeah, like by age
Your wife is
22.
So you took her off vagina and converted her to dick?
I don't think. Oh,
I don't think I could take credit for the conversion. I think she decided that she wanted to go
Because
back.
I have the opposite of that. I have 2 of my ex-girlfriends that are now lesbians.
okay.
Really?
I have a question. I met a guy who I thought had an ex-wife, who. Okay, so what I heard was that he used to be married to a chick who, you know, they got married really young and everything, and she'd, you know, always be bringing other girls home, you know, and which is, I don't know, you might know, like, which is, I guess, was cool at first. After a while, he was kind of like, okay, you know, like we're married, you know, kind of thing, and
Yeah.
well, then I found out that he's still married to her, but it's kind of like she still hooks up with other chicks, so like he can hook up with other chicks. I don't know. I still
We had
felt,
kind of a situation
I
like
still
that.
felt, but I still felt really bad about it because I'm like, I'm definitely that girl who's been burned before, been, you know, had a boy run around with another chick behind her back, and I was like, I'll never be that girl, right? Never be that girl. And then next thing I know, I meet a guy, and then comes to find out, oh, so you're still married, but this is okay? Like, I don't know. I felt, did I just...
They had like an
Did
open
I just make out with a
situation? Yeah.
married man? Like, but it was like,
See, that's with
Well,
your
she's
Christian
bringing-
values. That's one way ticket to hell, baby.
it's just my woman as a woman.
I was in the
value.
Air Force
Just
back
being
then,
the other woman,
so
I just, no.
it's like
no
I went
respect
to
for those girls. Just letting you
I
know.
went to Sicily for 4 months, and it was like, all right, yeah, so have fun. Don't get anybody knocked up, and don't bring home any STDs later. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, and she had like a 19-year-old chick living with her, like while I was gone.
But I mean, this guy.
That sounds hot.
This
It
guy
was.
who
I
shall
saw- I
remain
had- used to
nameless.
have
He was just
pictures.
he was just like, I don't know. He just didn't see what almost kind of like. I was like, well, are you monogamous or not? Like,
Well, and
apparently not. And he's just like that. Even that question, like, are you monogamous? Like, he didn't get it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So I was like,
That's a big word.
he's like, what is that?
it just depends on where you are in
Mono?
your life and stuff like that too. Because I
I
mean,
mean, he
that's
doesn't wear a wedding ring, and I don't know. I was like, is this okay?
that's why
I
we
don't
the
know.
biggest reason why my ex and I split up is because like she was at some point is like, all right, yeah, I'm ready. Like let's quit
Okay.
having fun. Like let's quit doing the
Open
the
relationship
the
thing.
swingers parties and this and that and
Yeah.
let's settle down and have kids. I don't want to do that anymore. And I'm like, yeah, but like I just got started. Like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't do
job.
any of this
Can I
shit
just
before I
ask-
met you. Can you
It's
know?
your fault.
Okay, I just want to say something real quick about your roommates, Drake. When we first walked in
Go
here,
ahead.
I was like, there has to be a chick. Is there a girl that lives here?
Oh no. Not at
Okay,
all.
because when we first walked in, someone was busting out Adele, like nobody's business. And then now it's Madonna. Was that Starlight? Starbright. First
I
star
don't
I
think that-
see
I
tonight.
don't think anyone else can
Yeah.
hear it except you.
Yeah,
but-
no, but still, I just want it's Adele and Madonna.
See, here's
like,
what it is. Okay, we listen to a lot of effeminate
Never
music
met a
in
gay
this
guy
house.
before.
Like we're all straight, we're all about pussy, but we like
But
good
you
music.
like some 80s Madonna and some heartbreak
Ooh,
Adele.
come on.
Do you guys have any Tiffany? Can we hear some Tiffany, please? Some Debbie Gibson, perhaps?
I think we're alone.
I got
oh, I love
plenty
Debbie
of
Gibson.
Debbie
When I was like
Gibson.
5, I was all about Debbie Gibson and New Kids on the Block.
Oh.
I can do the dance too.
I bet you can.
I had a New Kids on the Block birthday party when I was 7.
Really?
Yeah, I liked Joey.
Which
Hey,
one was oh, you know what?
Can we convert VHS tapes at work? Because I was going to edit it. I have the one video from like when I was a kid. And it's just hilarious.
There's probably a way to do it.
I have a VCR that'll do it. Like it's got the
Convert to like a DVD.
Yeah.
Really?
yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I'm ready to see this.
Yeah, they make those
but-
combo deals where like you can put a VHS in there and it'll just pop
Burn
on
it
a
to disc. Yeah.
Well,
Ours will do
because
that.
my
there's
last
there's
birthday
gotta
party.
be a market for that. You know what I mean?
Well, because my last birthday party, my roommate recorded it on just a DVC, and so I was
Yeah.
gonna edit it and make a little like video, whatever. Because we're doing the Just Dance and whatever. We got some of the boys to do it, and it's just ridiculous. So I was like, oh well,
How
I'll
can
edit it, make a little birthday video. Then I was thinking, oh, I should do something with my old birthday video and the new one, and show how much more I drink now.
I have a
All that.
feeling that now how could you talk shit about my effeminate roommate's choice in music, and you're talking about a birthday video, and you're almost
I'm a
30 years
girl.
old, Kristen.
I'm a girl though,
so
and
what?
birthdays are important.
Wayne,
No, they
I
aren't.
think
No,
the next
my
time
house,
your
we do
birthday,
we will have anything to have excuse to have a party. Like we throw birthday parties.
Birthdays
for
are
our
important if you're an
friends.
alcoholic. That's
Exactly.
What it
We
boils
just
down
want
to.
any excuse to have, oh man, our stock is running low, so we have another party.
Let's get fucked
No, we'll have a big party. We figured when we first moved in, we had a party
Arbor
for
Day.
Kim.
Let's bust out the
We
Coke.
had a birthday party for Kim. All these people brought over tons of beer, all these bottles. Everyone brings a bottle because it's her birthday, right? You don't show up to a birthday party empty-handed. So we had tons of beer, liquor left over. So that's September. stuff started running out. So then October, it's Ashley's birthday. We have another birthday party. Same thing. I mean, and we're chicks. We don't drink like 5 beers a night. So it lasted us for a while. And then we had my birthday party. Now we're starting to run low again. And like we need to have another
I bet your
party.
roommates are sluts. I want to meet your slutty roommates.
No, they
I need
only
to track
are when
down-
they're drunk.
I need to track down all the footage from my 30th birthday because they did a roast, and that's still like the roast of roasts. Like in 3rd Street, Tim and Mickles will still say that they sold more alcohol that night on my 30th birthday roast than they have on any other Wednesday ever.
Oh, I believe it.
More what? They sold more what?
Liquor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they made more money that Wednesday night than they have on any other Wednesday night ever.
Wow.
And which is funny because like they gave me a bottle of whiskey for my birthday.
Nice.
Well, you earned it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, you need to have a
absolutely.
birthday party here every Wednesday night.
So next
God,
year-
it was
Rails
epic.
up.
Next year, when you turn 40, Wayne, what are we gonna do?
Next year.
I'm
No,
just kidding.
it's the first of many 20. Like it's like I had a friend turn 29. She's like, it's my first 29th birthday. Like the first of many 29th birthdays.
Hey, guess how much time we've done already?
I don't know.
50 minutes. Guess how many
Wow.
people are watching live
Zero.
right now?
Zero.
One.
You.
I think it's just me, but it's fine. This is our pilot episode.
It could be Chelsea. Chelsea could
It
be
could be
one.
Chelsea.
It could be.
Oh, Wayne, something I wanted to ask you about. And
What?
I just thought of this like a half hour ago as I was on the shitter.
As
What do
he
you
often
think?
thinks about me
Oh,
when he's
yeah.
on the shitter.
I call you all the time when I'm on the pooper. This is funny, Kristen. I give Wayne options when I'm on the pooper. I'm like, do you want to see a picture of my turd or a picture of my dick or something like that? And like I always give him like a conundrum, and he'll either not answer or he'll give me some other type of option.
Have you heard Turds with Friends?
Oh, I like that. That sounds
It's when you're
fun.
playing words with
No, but
friends on
Wayne-
the pot.
Nice.
Oh my God.
I wanted to know
Yes.
what you thought about doing like a best of 3rd Street DVD. You know what I mean? Like taking a bunch of clips and putting a fucking label on it and selling it.
That wouldn't be a bad
You know what I
idea.
mean? Like, sell it out of the
Unfortunately,
bar
we
and shit.
missed. I think probably some of the.
I know some of the best
You're
stuff
like, sorry,
is guys
people
that are
who
gone.
are at 3rd Street now, but it's not the best of 3rd Street.
Hey.
Well, okay.
I mean, just me.
I know it
That's
sounds
what
like
I mean.
I'm gay
the best
for
of
Tim Dufresne,
the
but
best
I
of
think-
Drake from 3rd Street.
Oh, best of Drake.
No, I mean, I meant everybody,
Here's
but
the
Right.
first time you told this joke. Here's the second time you told the same joke.
well,
I'm
yeah,
just
but
joking.
if
He
it's on a
writes a lot.
DVD, then no one's gonna know. What were we gonna say about Tim Dufresne?
He, I think, was probably the most
I
talented
think my roommate's knocking.
comic to ever come
no,
out
it
of
was just
Reno.
Is he doing comedy in Chicago?
He's doing.
I know he's
because he started
improv.
doing improv, and so he's been kind of really busy with that because he's in Second City,
No, that's a
which is quite a
relatively famous improv group.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah, and then he's been taking courses for like writing pilots and like writing for like the people who submit for the monologues of like Jay Leno, and basically just taking like an industry writing course, and he's been doing a lot of that lately. I don't think he's been doing much stand up. He's been kind of too busy because he was really good at improv too. So
Yeah.
and he likes improv better, which to me is like retarded. I don't get.
I'm not personally into improv.
I should take the courses, but they cost money, so that's like the big prohibiting factor. Of I should probably appeal to like one of the people that like teach it and be like, hey, do you want to learn stand up? Because I can teach
Yeah.
you stand up if you teach me improv.
Do some trading.
Yeah.
My girlfriend just texted me and she said, "You want to meet Kristen's slutty roommates?"
Who in the my phone is
Don't
keep,
worry,
like,
they don't
blowing
put
up
out
with
their
all these
cheeses.
numbers that I don't
And
recognize.
that's
then
true.
I don't want to meet them then.
They just make out.
What?
No,
Like with
my
each
one
other?
roommate, I won't say who, and I love this about her. She'll be at the bar, like after work or something, like 4 a.m. Some guy's like, oh, let's go to your place. Yeah, sure, come on over, have a drink. And then she's like, night, here's a blanket. She never she's never ever let a guy sleep in her room. Like, you think you're gonna get lucky, and then it's like, nope, sorry. Here's your blanket. Here's
I
your
think
couch.
we should round up.
I think it's hilarious.
I think we should
love it.
round up all women like that and throw them into a
That's why
pit
I
people.
think
hot
it's
lava.
hilarious. I had this one boy I was dating. His friend really liked her. Like, he just thought she was so cool. And we had a party for a birthday party for one of our friends. It's like this 80s neon party, and she doesn't remember most of it. But she tells me the next day, she's like, "Oh yeah, we made out." And I was like, "Yeah, I saw after a certain drunkenness, he got so drunk he was kind of falling around like a little puppy." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I saw you guys kiss." And she's like, "Yeah, well, I also made out with 2 other guys." So
That's pretty
even though it was like a big
slutty.
deal for him,
Sweet.
she was
Wayne,
just like,
what do you think is worse?
whatever.
A chick making out with 3 or 4 multiple dudes, or taking one good dick,
What's worse? What's
or
better?
one dirty dick, raw dog style? What's worse?
Why does it have to be better or worse?
I don't
Like
know.
that's implying that either of
It's
those
bad.
options are bad.
You're right.
Yeah.
What do you think is better for me?
I think it's obvious.
It's
I
obvious.
don't think we should talk about this.
Why not?
Because you'll get in
There's
trouble.
no subject that is taboo.
Yeah, I agree with Wayne. It's like saying one's worse than the other.
Yeah, true.
Like, what makes you more of a slut? It should be what makes you more awesome.
Yeah.
Making out with 3 guys or doing it with 1.
Sluts are great. Sluts are underappreciated.
I know.
The fact that we call them sluts at all is horrible.
No, and that's like the total double standard is a chick is a whore unless she's fucking you.
Well, yeah.
Like, she's a slut, I'm going to talk shit about it. But if she's sleeping with me, then she's a slut, and that is totally okay. All right?
I have a feeling your roommates do anal. Can you confirm or deny this?
No, I cannot.
What have you heard?
Well, fortunately, my room's on the other end of the house, so I don't
If
hear
you've
much.
ever heard a noise that sounds like a boot stuck in mud, then
Luckily,
they do
I don't hear
anal.
much. But, oh my gosh, so best roommate story ever.
Oh, let's hear it.
This is when I lived with my girlfriend Holly, and she's a good girl. She's like, she teaches kindergartners, and she
Oh
tells
my
really
God,
bad kindergarten
that's
jokes about pencils
hot.
and polar bears and things like that.
Hot.
So
I hate her
she's-
already.
No, she's awesome though.
Wayne
Uh,
failed kindergarten. Why did you bring it up?
I think she's a closet freak. But anyway, so we were living together, and our bedrooms were right across the hallway from each other, and the laundry room's right there. And I just started dating this guy. We were together for like 3 years, and we just started dating. And he had gotten a tattoo on his side, and
Oh, God.
he
What a geek.
he wanted to, he's like, oh, it's really dried out. Like, I was putting some lotion on. He's like, oh, put some lotion on. I was like, I don't think I should. Like, I don't think I should.
I don't want to touch your gay-ass tattoo.
No, I liked it.
I don't want
But no,
hepatitis.
I've heard like the story. You're not supposed to put just normal lotion or whatever. And he's like, well, it's unscented, right? I'm like, yeah, but I don't think I should.
He cared if it was
So,
scented
well,
or not?
because if it's unscented, it's supposed to not sting, or I don't know,
Oh,
like
God.
there's
Why would he
certain
care
lotions.
if his gay tattoo
So what you're
is gonna
saying is
sting?
this is your first lesbian relationship because this
No.
guy sounds like a big
no,
fucking girl.
No, he was.
Is it unscented lotion?
Anyways, so I'm like, all right, whatever you say, put lotion on. So I could have put the lotion on, and of course he's like, it stings, like, get it off, it hurts, and Holly this whole time is switching her laundry over in the hallway, like hearing him like. She's freaking out, like, like, what am I hearing? She totally thought that
some
we
heavy pegging.
yeah, she totally thought that we were doing it with like some lube or something was stinging for some reason
Awesome.
or something.
She thought
and-
you were penetrating him?
no, she just thought something was going on, and it didn't turn out right. And she was just so the next day she's like, yeah, Kristen, she's
Kristen.
goes. So I heard you guys last night. I heard you, and I'm like, heard us what? And she's like, I heard you.
I heard you fucking your
Heard
boyfriend
you.
in the
And I was
asshole.
like, we didn't do it last
Kissing
night.
your boyfriend with
yeah,
a leather
she
work
was
glove.
terrified. She was terrified. She's
You-
like, I'm not doing laundry anymore.
Look, that should be a sign when your boyfriend gets a tattoo on his obliques.
Hey,
that-
it's a very painful spot to get a tattoo on.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I hear.
I
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah,
know, because my tattoos are in a masculine spot.
Like the head of your penis.
Like, there you go. My taint.
Get it here with an arrow.
That one hurt. The taint.
Do you have any tattoos, Wayne?
I do.
Really?
What do you have, Wayne?
Got this one here, and
Oh,
then I've got
hella
one on my
macho.
back.
Hella macho.
Yeah.
What's the one on your back?
The one on my back is. Have you ever heard of a band called The Refreshments?
Oh, hella.
No.
Like back. Fuck you.
No,
they had
please tell
a
me.
hit back in the late '90s called Banditos.
Okay.
If
I'm
I started
interested.
singing it, you would know it. But
Please, well,
El Bandito.
I don't know it, so I would like to hear you sing
Look it up
if
on your
possible.
computer.
yeah, look it up.
I'm
Give
pretty
your
lazy.
ID card to the border guard. Now your alias says you're Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the United Federation of Planets.
What?
Because they don't speak English anyway.
I can see why that song motivated
Everybody
you
knows
to get a
that
back
the world
tattoo.
is full of stupid
You know
people.
what? My cousin Rashawn got a tattoo. It was free. Somebody was like, yeah, I'll give a free tattoo, whatever. He's like, cool. And he's like, yeah, just pick something out. So he picks out this one that he thinks looks pretty cool. And it happened to be a cover from an AFI CD. And he doesn't listen to them, so he had no idea. And then, months and months go by, and some dude's like, oh, yeah, so you like AFI? And he's like, who's that? And they're like,
Well,
oh,
at
your
least I
tattoo.
knew. At least I knew. Like, aside
Yeah,
from
it's
it
even
being
worse
a
that
great.
he has.
That's not why I
tattoo,
didn't
he
get
doesn't
it
know what it
because it was the album cover to that album. It's a great album, but it's also like, like the old school nose art, like the Vargas girls, like back
yeah.
in the day when they used to paint the little cupcakes on the noses of the airplane.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. It's a girl with the aviator vest and the goggles on top
No,
of her
yeah,
head.
I like
and-
Vargas stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I got, and then
That's cool.
back
I mean,
that was
I mean,
back,
not for me, but for for
yeah,
you.
I was in the Air Force back then, for one. And
I
then
know. I have a friend who's a nurse, and he has one of a nurse.
Oh, a male nurse, huh?
Yeah. I don't know.
it's
I
like Betty Page in a
something-
nurse's outfit.
I'm not really
Awesome.
talking shit because
Something like that.
nurses make fucking
More money
awesome
than, we
money.
do,
Yeah.
so. I don't trip on any job. You're a manager at McDonald's? Good for you. Stick with it.
I went to
Make more
Taco
than I do.
Bell the other day to get some Dorito tacos because I'm a fat guy and I'm addicted to that shit.
Really? Like I have
heard
no
they're
desire
great.
to try those.
Well,
Like
you're not a
Dorito
fat guy.
tacos.
You're
about the
normal.
bacon-
you're
bacon
relatively.
milkshake?
You're relatively normal.
Did you hear about
Wayne.
that?
What?
Yeah, the bacon
Burger King,
milkshake.
is it Burger King? Of course they
It's
started
one
it
of
down
them.
south.
A
Have like
bacon
a
milkshake?
bacon. It's like
Bacon shake.
like the soft serve with pieces of bacon in it, and they're
That's the
trying.
worst
yeah, it is.
idea
It is
ever.
Burger King.
No,
It is
but
Burger
if
King.
if it hits off, apparently they're gonna go nationwide. So they're doing like a little tester.
Hey, I had it at Denny's. Denny's had a version of it, and I had it, and it was pretty good.
I
you know?
see. Okay,
Ew.
someone tried to sell it
I'm
on.
si- I
on
didn't.
me. They said,
I didn't think it was going to be
"Doesn't
that
your-
good, but
doesn't your
when I
bacon
tried
ever
it, it was
get in your
fucking
maple
awesome.
Syrup? I was like, yeah, but it's not. It's maple syrup. It's not ice cream. And they tried
Yeah.
to sell me the whole sweet and salty.
Yeah.
Because
What
I
was I
did my
gonna say?
French
Oh,
fries in my shakes.
Here,
but-
here's what happened to me though when I was at Taco Bell getting a Dorito taco. I was like, the guy says, "Oh, how you doing?" I say, "Cool, man. How are you doing?" He goes, "Oh, just living the dream." And I thought that was so awesome.
Was he
you know?
Was he,
sincere?
No,
sarcastic,
he was just
or-
fucking around, but I was like, there you go, man. That's a good attitude to have. And then I was glad that I was, as I drove away and I'm mowing on these disgusting tacos. I'm like, man, I'm glad I never had to work at Taco Bell, man.
You
But
know,
if
I don't
I
know.
did, I
worked-
would have that kind of attitude.
I worked at Round
I
Table.
worked.
Did you?
Yeah.
I've worked in restaurants and bars, like since I was
Would you
19.
consider Taco Bell a restaurant?
No,
No.
no. I mean, like,
Because I worked
my
at the
first
Olive
job
Garden
was
and
as a
shit.
hostess at a restaurant and a casino. The restaurant and the casino in Beatty. And then I started waiting tables when I was 19 and
Yeah.
bartending. And I don't know. It's just, especially at chain restaurants. Like, I worked at Chili's for 5 years. And
Damn.
I did a good job. I worked my ass off. I was good at what I do because it's my job and I want to make money. But there are those people who act like they're living the fucking dream.
Yeah.
Like, it's like they take it so seriously. It's like, it's burgers and fries. Seriously, like, you're worried about upselling, or if you have on like your Presidente shirt, like.
Don't you hate when you have
I
one
just
of
hate
those?
those employees that take it like 10 times too serious.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Like,
I could throw a name at you from Outback and you would be like, oh my god, yes.
Well, because everybody that's worked there's so many people that have worked there 10 plus years,
Yeah.
so long.
10 years?
But that goes to
There's
show.
one girl who's
it's
like
a great-
notorious at taking things way too seriously and being a total bitch. to
Outrageous.
Brittany Hunt. She was my roommate for a
Brittany
while.
Hunt.
I think we had this conversation, didn't we?
No. She was my.
Or there's somebody else that I knew that it was also her roommate at one point.
She was mine and Holly's roommate. Like I said, she's such a sweetheart, and we used to say. I mean, I love her when I'm not living with her. And she's a great girl to have on your side. There are some times where there's some fucked up situations, and I wouldn't say anything, and Brittany would just be like, what the fuck? Fuck you. Get the fuck out of my house. I'm like, I'm so glad she's my friend right now, you know? But Holly
How do you
used to
become
always
her
say,
friend? Do you like save her kitten from a burning building
No,
or something
well,
like that?
Holly-
for her not to be
Holly
a raging
and-
bitch to you?
Holly and Brittany, Holly's known Brittany since they were like in elementary school. And then we started working together at Outback, and we needed a third roommate for the house we were living in. And she came over one night, and we drank a lot of margaritas, and we just thought, oh
and
my
then
gosh, this is going to
one
be so
thing
great.
led
She'll live
to
with us.
another, and she
Yeah.
removed my bra.
And then we
fucking
became,
hated me.
actually, it was the night we had that really big earthquake, like 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
And we're drunk
I was
off
in the Bay Area at
margaritas,
that time.
earthquakes, and we just having a great time and thought
So
it would
like
just be
the
so
earth
great.
literally moved when you guys
Exactly.
got drunk and got together.
Well, then
Hot.
me and Holly used to always say we are two big vaginas living with a big dick. Like she's just a jerk sometimes, and there are things that we just wouldn't say anything because we were pussies. So
Do you think she gave like outrageous head because she takes everything so seriously?
My guess is that she doesn't.
But you know what? Like I said, I
Like she
really
just doesn't
liked
put the effort into it?
Yeah.
I really liked her. Not when I wasn't living with her. Working with her, we had a big party. It was like they were just from the rodeo. They had won this.
Can we call it an orgy?
And
Just for-
they thought the
Nice.
tip was included, and it wasn't. It was this big party, and because we had the option to include the tip, and so when I get in the bill, I made it clear, just so you know, the tip is not included. We want to leave it up to you to decide. And they're like, oh yeah, thanks, we're drunk. So she left like what you'd be trying to leave extra, but it wasn't. It was horrible, and I was seriously like, this is my one table all night. Like, I wanted to cry. And Brittany, with her big balls, went over there, and she said something, like, when I went in. So, like, that was when I was, like, glad to be her friend.
Nice.
You know, she would speak up when sometimes she shouldn't, but definitely sometimes it is.
I worked with a guy at the Olive Garden when I was a senior in high school. He was like 6'7", and hell of a nice guy. A little bit of a drinker, kind of like Wayne, but
I'm so boring.
Anyway,
a little bit of a drinker.
this
I
guy,
don't
he
drink
was a
anymore. I don't do shit
he was a
anymore.
server
That's
there.
probably
I don't know.
good.
I'm a homebody too, but he was a server at the Olive Garden, like 6'7". Somebody, he was a huge motherfucker, and he got stiffed on accident by like this old couple, right? So he goes tearing outside with this look on his face like he was ready to kill, and he goes walking up to this poor old guy, and he's just like, sir, looking at him right dead in the face, looking down at him. He's just like, sir, was there something wrong with the service? You know, and the guy's just like, no, what are you talking about? Like, and he's like, I noticed you didn't give me a tip. You know what I mean? Like, he got his fucking money.
Every server has always wanted to do that.
Oh yeah.
I'm
I'm surprised
we
you
had
didn't
a
get
busser once
fired.
that was we had a busser once that was still in tips, and I just I didn't want to believe it. I was like, no, I'm sure there's something else wrong. And they're like, no, whenever he works, there's like money missing from the register. And this is at this little steakhouse in Susanville, and then there was the bar next door. So I had this table, and their bill was like, I don't know, like $45-$50, something like that, and all night I was making a point to kind of get to my table spat before he did, just in case. And he got there before, and I look in the book, and they seemed they seemed great. They loved everything. The food was great, and they had a great time. They went over to the bar, listened to the live music, and yeah, there was zero. They paid with a credit card and left nothing on the credit card. There was no cash, nothing. And I was just really bummed. So at the end of the night, we're closing up, and I'm talking to the girls, and the owner, she's there, and of course they're like, he took your tip. He took your tip. And I'm like, no, he didn't. I know he didn't. So the owner, Rhonda, she went into the bar and she's like, hi, how's that? How are you guys enjoying your evening? And they're like, oh, everything's wonderful. And oh, I know she had dinner. How was dinner? They're like, great. She's like, how was the service? They're like, oh, Kristen was great. She did such a great job. And she's like, well, I noticed you didn't leave a tip on the credit card, so I just want to make sure everything was okay. And they're like, oh yeah, we left $10 in the book. $10 bill. And I tipped that motherfucker out that night too.
Oh, fucking
I tipped him out,
cocksucker,
and he
man.
stole my tips. That's why I was like, fire him.
I tell you
hope
what,
in people
Wayne,
is
have you ever
gone.
had a shitty job in a restaurant?
Yeah.
When I was at the Olive Garden, like, tips were everything. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
If you got caught stealing anything at a restaurant, like,
Well, I
you
sold
would get
ketchup
fucked
and
up.
mustard.
You know, like, there was a guy who wasn't stealing people's tips, but he was stealing people's cigarettes out of their jackets and shit. Like, he would, you know, like, go through their jackets and take cigarettes. And, like, smoke breaks at the Olive Garden back in the day were, like, a big deal. You know what I mean? So people started figuring this out, where there was this one server, I think his name was Mark, I can't remember. But he put rat poison in his cigarettes to figure out who the fucking the cigarette
so
thief
bad.
was.
Awesome.
I know, and
That could be dangerous though. Like,
well, yeah, but
don't
you know
smoke
what?
those cigarettes.
Fuck it.
Well, I mean, for him,
He had, like, a
what if he
backup pack.
accidentally, yeah.
It was funny because he had his pack on him, but then he hid the pack in his jacket, right? So,
You should have laced him with like PCP. That would have been
oh
amazing.
yeah,
Way better.
or like some mushrooms or something where the guy
Yeah.
starts tripping.
Like all of a sudden
Yeah.
he's tripping
But
balls.
all
and
he did was, because you know they're like the little pellets, right? The rat poison.
Yeah.
You see them in the little boxes. He
He was,
took
like,
one of those
pushing-
pellets and stuffed it into the cigarette. So then, lo and behold, like 4 days later, fucking dude starts like having intestinal troubles and had to go to the hospital and shit. And
Did he ever tell him?
well, like it eventually got back to the bosses, but like my buddy didn't even get in trouble for poisoning the guy. But it was, you know, they
'cause
found
he was
out
poisoning his own.
he was like a
cigarettes.
dishwasher. Yeah, pretty much. So
He's
there
like,
you
my
go.
cigarettes,
dude
not
got
my
fired,
fault that
but-
he smoked them.
Wayne, where
That's
did
true.
you work in the illustrious food service business?
Let's see. I was a server at Outback, which honestly was probably my least favorite serving job ever.
Do you think being a server helped you with your comedy?
At
being
that
able
point,
to
I
kind of
had
play
pretty
definitely
much
gives you
already
material.
done stand-up.
You hadn't done stand-up.
Or I had already done stand-up.
Okay.
So, like, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, oh, yeah, I bet you're going to put this in your act. And it's like, no, I've
Oh
had
yeah.
That's what everybody tells
far
Drake.
more interesting things
Yeah.
to think
Poor
about
Drake.
than,
He
than
works
this.
with nothing but women.
Oh yeah.
And a guy who, whatever, he's doing his own thing. But yeah, Drake works with nothing but women. And we're always like, I told him, I was like, there has to be a way you can spin this into a joke because it's just, I mean, I don't even want to say what we were talking about one day. And Caitlin was the one that brought it up, not me. And Drake comes around the corner and he's just like, I can hear you. Okay? I can hear you.
They were talking about like how many guys could
We're
make them
talking
come
about
and
period
shit.
sex.
What?
Oh,
We're talking
really?
about period sex.
Well, yeah, but it was
And Drake
a
is
lot
just
of
like,
orgasm shit too in there.
and Drake was just like, I can hear you. He's like, just give me like 10 minutes till I finish the show and
Yeah.
I'll put my headphones on. So we try to talk quietly. Guys are going, I can still hear you. Like, sorry.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
It was getting dirty.
It was dirty for me. I was like, why are we talking about this?
No, okay. I'll tell you one thing.
But going back to you.
serving
Yeah.
motivates you to become a better comic, so I never have to fucking wait tables again.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
bet.
fucking hate that shit. I
It
hate
depends
it.
what job. I've had certain jobs that I didn't mind it at all. And,
I worked
and
at
bartending's a lot
Grimaldi's and
better.
that was okay.
Yeah.
That's a pizza joint,
I
right?
Yeah.
honestly, I
Yeah.
loved working at Outback. The only reason why I left was because I wanted more flexibility. It's only open at night, and I want to work during the day.
Well, I've noticed that I don't work well with women. I don't. I
don't know if I kind of do, but it's
Well,
funny
you were
when
fine with
because
certain women.
it's funny when you work around women though, because you get like a sense, you get a great look into the female psyche, and I tell
Drake
you
just
what,
thinks we're all idiots.
you're all idiots and you're insane. That's the bottom line is you're all fucking insane.
Well, I don't do the
Am
whole
I right, Wayne?
passive-aggressive thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I do not deal with that. The whole passive-aggressive thing, I do not fucking deal with that at all. You know, and I'm from a world, in the military and working construction.
What do you mean, like where
Yeah.
chicks will be mad but not tell you why?
Yeah, or just take digs and just
say
you know,
make
or
little
you can
comments.
hear like, especially when you're working like a serving gig with women, where
You
they
hear everything.
where you like
Yeah.
walk in, you can totally tell that they were just talking about you just a second ago. and
Yeah.
I fucking hate that. You know, and like guys, like
We do
you
that
know,
on purpose. We'll be like, oh, start
on a
walking about
construction
Eric, he's
side
coming.
or
Yep.
whatever, guys can fucking blow up at each other.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And
no,
even
guys,
kick the
it's
shit out of
so
each
much
other
better.
sometimes, and then it's over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Guys
You
are
can't-
so much better.
You
It's
can't
either...
yell at a woman and then expect to keep your
Oh,
fucking
no, no,
job.
no.
Yeah,
it's
then you
gonna
get
last
fired or
forever.
you get a
You get
lawsuit.
fired immediately, and I can't like just sit there and be like, "Oh, okay," you know what I mean? Like,
no,
you're
I
being
heard
a
comic
fucking
once
bitch right
was
now, and I'm gonna
saying-
tell you.
I forget who it was. I was watching somebody on TV, and they're like, "Here's the deal with guys. If a guy and two guys have a beef, it's gonna end in one or two ways. It's gonna be like, no, you're a fucking idiot, I kick your ass, or yeah, you're right. Here, let me buy you beer. Like
Yeah.
one way or the other. In one way,
Or
it's squashed though.
Let me
either
kick
way.
your ass and then buy you a beer.
Yeah,
or,
it's just, but either way, it's
you
Let
know.
me kick your beer.
Or with women, it lingers and it settles.
Oh, yeah.
and I was telling Drake, somebody was talking about how, like every birthday card you get them or anniversary card, like how us when we save everything, and that shit becomes ammunition. Like, well, here on August 13th, 1999, you said we will be together forever, and you signed your name. You know? And I was like, oh yeah, I've pulled that before. It's true. Yeah, I'm like, only 3 months ago, you said this. Now you're saying it's some other chick. Yeah, but you know what? In girls' defense, I'm pretty good about if I'm upset about something, I say so. Might not right away,
Oh yeah,
but I do.
You're an asshole.
I do. But the thing is, we'll tell the dude like, hey, so you know how you're kind of being like this? Well, I think it's kind of fucked up. So maybe if you could just do this, or we could do that. Like, I'll offer suggestions on like like how we could like change things. Like, yeah, you know, I never see you ever. Like, I see you like once a week. How about maybe let's meet up for lunch tomorrow? Like, and when I mean meet up for lunch, I mean like let's have sex during lunch tomorrow, or maybe before I have to go to bed before work, you know, I come over, we have dinner and have sex. Like, and then nothing changes, so it's kind of like, well, why shouldn't I just be mad and not tell you? Because then when I do tell guys, it's not like anything changes anyway. So guys always bitch like, oh well, they just don't even tell us when they're mad. Well, no, we tell you, and then it doesn't do any good, so what's the point?
Women are really hard to figure out. I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah, like when we say, babe, could you take out the trash? And then you don't. And then we say, hey, babe, remember you said you were going to take out the trash? Could you do that for me? And then we're nagging.
Well, look, you have younger men that you date, so some of this doesn't pertain to us men like me and Wayne.
Yeah, because you're like, what, 3, 4, or 5 years
Yeah,
older than me?
There you go. But here's an example of what
No, actually, from what I've heard from older women, it
doesn't
never
change,
changes.
yeah.
It's all the same. Every girl has the same
my
story.
mom complains about my dad, does the same shit. But here's an example of what I deal with, Wayne. So it's now April. So 2 months ago, for Valentine's Day, I hear this chick talking in the gaggle of women
At
right?
work?
Yeah. So one of them says, "So me and my fiance made an agreement this
Oh, I know this.
this Valentine's Day that we're not gonna get anything for each other, right?" And I'm listening to this shit, and then she goes,
Because they're getting married in like a month later.
Yeah, but then she says, "But then Valentine's comes and goes, and he still didn't get me anything, right?" And I was like, "How could you do that to the poor guy? How can you make an agreement that you're not gonna get anything for each other?" And then when he follows directions.
That's like a guy though telling a girl, "No, babe, I don't like to get head." Like,
I don't know if
it's
that's the
bullshit.
same thing,
Yes,
'cause
it is. Like,
It's obviously that a guy
Valentine's
likes
is
to get
head for girls.
But when you tell a guy, like, let's make an agreement that we don't get anything, and then he's like, okay, cool, fine.
But I think she said, I don't know if this is true, but I think she said that like the night before, she's like, well, we should probably do something. Or something
I
like
don't know.
that.
It looked like to me like she fucked with his head
Yeah.
and then made him feel guilty about it later.
The best was how she made him feel guilty, though. She was like, well, because one of the other girls in the office got roses delivered to work. None of the rest of us did.
Yeah, thanks
you know?
a lot,
and
fucker, whoever did
I was
that.
kind of sort of seeing somebody, but nobody I expect to, like, deliver flowers, you know? And So she goes home and tells her fiance, you know, all the other girls and Kristen and all the other girls at work, their boyfriends had flowers delivered, and they're like, oh
yeah,
Sam,
I remember that.
what did you get? And she's like, well, I'll have to wait and see when I get home. Now, what am I supposed to tell them tomorrow when I go to work and you didn't do anything for me? Like, I felt guilty.
Lie.
I felt
It's
guilty.
like this sick, twisted game that happens
I felt
with everybody.
guilty for
It's
her.
terrible.
So I was thinking I didn't get shit for my roommate and I went out for Valentine's Day together. Like,
I'm so lucky that I have a girl that just
Yeah, you got a
doesn't
good
give
girl.
fuck.
I just started dating somebody, so I haven't had any like major snafus yet.
major gift giving events.
Any major psychology shit yet? Not yet. But I'm sure it's coming because that's what happens. But yeah, Chelsea's a cool chick.
Yeah,
You're marrying a good
she's-
one, Wayne.
She's pretty rad.
She's downgrading.
The only
but
thing that she, the only thing that she,
I think that's how it always works.
the only thing that she doesn't have going for her is that she like isn't like a Japanese schoolgirl with a twin sister. That's about like the only way I could improve that situation.
That's on your previous list.
Now, if she spoke Japanese, would that be a step in the right direction?
No, because then it would just be annoying because it would be one more thing she's fucking good at. You know what I mean?
I love that bit that you tell that, once she gets her, is it her master's she's going for?
She has her master's.
She's already got her master's.
Yeah.
So once
it'll
she
be when
gets
she
that,
gets her PhD.
When she gets her PhD, you will never win another argument ever
Never.
again.
Never.
I love that bit because it's
But
You're like the
But-
only
true.
one that likes that bit because
I love
thought
it.
that- I don't think a woman has to have a PhD for you not to ever win an argument.
There you go. That's
'cause-
why.
Because she
There's
could
not
be
even
wrong,
a shot now.
but it doesn't matter because you're not going to be right.
She could be.
That's the way it works.
She could be completely wrong on purpose and somehow turn it around and say, I have a PhD, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't
Right.
matter
Pretty
what it
much.
is. That's why I love that bit because it's
You
you
can't
can take
argue
it
with
anywhere. You can have any fucking argument ever.
She could have a PhD in like baby giraffes, and you have an argument
No, worse
about
yet,
rocket science, and she'll
it's
be
a
like,
PhD in
I'm
behavior
right.
analysis.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's even worse.
There you go.
It's like, fuck. What's
And
crazy
even
though
if-
is
if
she still
Wayne-
can't get me to like do laundry and shit.
She should be able to
It's like, so
manipulate
how
that.
good
I
really
even,
are you at your job?
Wayne
I
can
think
be.
my ex was pretty good. I don't know, like I don't know if he was psychic or he had this time. I think he knew right when I'd get to the point where I was going to ask him to do something. Like he could tell, like after a month of me cleaning and doing all the laundry and stuff, like where I'd get to that point where I was just like, oh, I just really need some help. Like I can't do everything. And that one day I would call or text and be like, hey babe, I got like finals and I just really, really, if you could just help out, I really appreciate it. And he'd be like, well, just so you know, I scooped the dog poop and I dusted and vacuumed and did the laundry. So now I look like the bitch that like
Oh yeah.
you act like I never do anything. I'm like, the one time you do just happens to be perfect timing when I ask you to do it. But I think he knew, like he could tell when I was getting to that point where I was like
Yeah.
kind of getting a little frustrated, and then he'd be like, do it, so I couldn't bitch about it.
Wayne, I like this trick that I've done personally in my relationships, and it works best when you live with the person that like if you have some chores to do, you wait until right as they're coming in the door.
Oh, it didn't happen unless
Right.
she sees it.
So like I've done that thing where I've had the dishwasher like all ready to go, and I'll wait until she's about to walk in, and then I'll hit the button.
That's on
You know
a
what
movie.
I mean? I know,
Yeah,
but like
I do that. I do.
Kate
I
That's
do
happened,
Leopold,
that happens
The
to me all
guy's
the time.
like about to start the dishwasher, and the brother's like, oh no. It's like that proverbial tree. Like if nobody hears it, did it fall? And it's like no, it didn't because yeah, the house may be clean, but I didn't see you cleaning it, so it's just.
Or
that
like
way,
I'll
'cause I
I'll
do.
have I'll have dishes, like in the sink, like, and I won't do the dishes, but like I'll get to that point where I'm putting water in the sink to soak it, right? So then she thinks I'm gonna do them later, which I never do, but at least it's prepared.
I honestly, it's really easy to win chicks over. You could do like the smallest thing, and they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, oh, thank you so much."
I'm
Oh,
good
yeah.
at projects.
Like you're eating dinner and be like, "Oh, here, babe, let me get your plate for you." Oh, thanks, that's so nice. No, you're not gonna wash it or anything. Oh, you'll put it in the sink, but but it's just like, "Oh, that's so sweet. He like took my plate." And then they'll wash it later. But I don't know. It's really easy. Like, and I know you've been obviously in a relationship for a while, but I've noticed now that I'm newly single too. Like dating girls fall for. I don't see why. I don't think it's that hard for guys. Like girls fall for the smallest, stupidest shit. Like I was with my friend at Brew Brothers, which I hate. It's like a freaking meat market, right? Like guys think just because they said hey, and you say hi and walk away, like I said hello. Like I can't believe she didn't like give me the time of day. Like I don't know. But these guys actually asked us if we want like, hey, would you guys like to dance? They asked us. And they're
That means
dorky
fuck,
looking
right?
motherfuckers. Like buck too tall, skinny, like look like they're barely 21. And I totally danced with them because they asked and they didn't just, come up and try to sneak up behind you and see how long they could stay there before you noticed.
See, I do this thing. I do this thing where I just stick my finger up your butt, and if you react
if they
to
stay,
that,
then it's meant to be.
there you go.
Yeah.
That reminds me of your
It's
joke.
love at
Like, what if
first
it doesn't come out right away? That joke you tell?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Kristen's
stuck.
my biggest fan,
It's
Wayne.
stuck.
She loves my shit, or she remembers it anyway.
I remember everything.
You
I'm
should
a
see me
woman.
sometime when I'm funny. When I'm at Third Street, I'm just fucking around.
Well,
You're-
it's definitely a different crowd. There are certain times I've been there when everyone's great, and then there's times I've been there when everyone sucks, like when no one's laughing. And I really think it has to do with how drunk people are, like you were saying.
I of course
Oh,
never
absolutely.
suck. I'm
I went
funny
and
every
saw
time.
went and watched not Drake, but the
Yeah,
next
no,
week.
I've never seen you eat it, Drake, ever.
Really?
No.
I went to
Bullshit.
that
I'm lying.
3rd Street.
You dick.
Not this last Wednesday. Wednesday before that, I went to 3rd Street and watched. And then that Friday, I went to Pioneer Underground. And a lot of the guys were the same guys from 3rd Street and telling the exact same jokes that they bombed with
Oh yeah.
at 3rd Street. But then you go to this other place, and it's a completely different crowd. And people who've never even seen them, haven't seen them before, where I feel like 3rd Street's a lot of regulars.
Yeah.
And so you hear the same jokes a lot, but it was a completely different reaction,
Oh, yeah.
at the Underground versus.
Well, that and they're packing the audience with their friends, so they will intentionally
I
laugh.
totally killed at the Pioneer, by the way.
I still think Pat had the best last line. I know he didn't make it, but he was talking about, I don't know if it was a good joke or not,
Pat Shillito?
Yeah, and he had the best, like, the last line, because, they give him the little light, and then once the music comes on, say your goodbyes, you're off.
Right.
So he has his one last joke he's trying to get in. He's talking about he was Googling something, and he just typed in why. And the first thing that popped up was, why is my poop green? All right, that's it for me. My name's Pat, and I was like, he might not have gone picked in the top 6, but he had the best last line. And he didn't plan it that way. He's
I'm
not smart to plan it that way. Like,
I'm
good
a
time,
very
but I was
big
like, that's a great last
fan
line.
of
You probably got
fecal
lucky.
humor. Am I Reno's shittiest comic, Wayne?
You mean as far as
I
poop
tell the
jokes?
Talking about
most
shit?
poop-related anal jokes.
Yeah, I think you do more poop jokes than just about anybody right now.
I'll take it, 'cause I'm on a poop run.
I don't do any poop jokes.
I had a
have
friend who
one
kept
poop
a
joke
poop
I
that
think
book.
everybody
don't
should have at least
like
one
it.
poop joke in their repertoire.
I don't like my one poop joke. I don't enjoy it. I don't
Really?
know why. It's just not. It hasn't worked yet. I
My
don't even
sister and I were gonna
remember
make a
how
poop
it
book.
goes anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Your sister was going to get involved in poop humor?
We were going to do a poop book.
Come in.
It's
Roommates
a coffee
coming
table
in.
book.
Oh, you're not nothing important, Fernando.
Just a podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like anybody's watching this.
Barbecue's going.
Oh, yeah? Is food prepared?
About
20
20 minutes.
minutes. Sweet. Come on camera real quick, Fernando. Stand right in front of them because that's the camera that's on. We're going
Right
to
here.
introduce you to the world right now.
Am I going to be a little tall?
Your zipper's down.
Oh no. Leave it down. Leave it down. Fernando, if you want to show your penis to the rest of the internet, that'll be completely fine. This is Fernando.
I don't mind really one way or the other. So.
I met Fernando because he used to cut my lawn, and he spoke such good English that I let him move in.
Что сказали?
He speaks 9 languages. He's the best gardener I've ever had. I'm just kidding.
No, that would be Ray. Ray's the gardener. I'm not. I just provide the plants.
Yeah, Ray is a little bit of a. He likes to plant shit.
So you asked the question. That means you're going to get the answer. Do you really want the answer to that?
Fernando's been out to 3rd Street Comedy.
I have.
He likes to come out.
I do.
Has it been an hour yet?
It's been way over an hour. We're
Yeah.
at 1:20 already.
Whoa.
You want to shut it down?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to say our goodbyes. Thanks for joining us on
Goodbye,
the show,
world.
Fernando.
Bye.
I have to get back out to cooking.
All right, go ahead.
It's hot in here, dude.
It's
It is.
terrible.
It
You
is.
get used to it.
We actually have the air on.
I don't feel it.
You should open the door.
I can't open the door. The cats will
We
come
can
in.
now.
Ruin my studio.
Gracias.
Fernando's offering us some comida. What time is it? 6 o'clock?
It is 6:05.
Yeah, we got a long run. All right, you guys. We're going to get out of here. Thanks a lot for joining us, Fernando.
Fantabulous.
My name is Drake Nelson. This is the pilot of the fucking video gimmick thing I'm going to do. I don't really have a name for it yet. I figured if someone actually gives a shit, they can help us create a name. I'm kind of stuck on Kristen's huge vagina for now. So that's going to be the name of the show until we change it. So, Wayne, you have anything to add before we go? You got any upcoming gigs you want to promote?
Just 3rd Street every Wednesday. I don't know if I have anything booked out other than the monthly show that I produce in Fallon. If our first fan ends up being a person in Fallon, there's going to be a show there.
I wonder if they have the internet out in
The
Fallon.
first Saturday of the month. So,
Cool.
yes.
Kristen?
Fabulous.
Anything to add? You have to say goodbye into the microphone, okay?
Goodbye.
That's really,
Adios.
really
Au
professional.
revoir.
You want to tell us about your sunburn before you go?
No, hopefully aloe vera will do the trick.
Sweet.
I'm white. This is what happens. This is my tan.
Yeah, you're pretty
So,
white.
Yes.
We've had some comments in the chat room about your
Cracker ass cracker.
your feet. People like your feet.
What?
Yeah, there's people watching that have foot fetishes.
I need to do my nails.
Maybe it's just me. I'm
I'm
just
the only
kidding.
one in the chat
Bunions
room.
are
You're the only one in the
hot.
chat room.
I'm the only one in the chat room. All right, you guys, thanks for joining us. We'll be back some other time.
Adios.
Adios, amigos.
See you.